Hey guys, we are back. This is Maimuna with Bold True Life and my sister Hannah.
Hi guys.
And today we are talking again about tapping. So our first video was talking a little bit about why we love it so much and our personal experiences. And this video, we're going to talk about the psychology behind tapping. For me, it's really important to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. Otherwise, I won't do it. If you're anything like me, this video is going to help you understand like why am I putting like tapping on all these parts of my face? What are we doing here? So Hannah, can you explain a little bit about the psychology behind this?
Sure. So tapping is really a blend between modern psychology and ancient Chinese medicine. So if you've ever heard of acupuncture, we're going to be doing something similar, but instead of using needles, we're just going to be using our fingers to tap on different acupressure points. So there's some on our face, there's some on our body. And as we're tapping on those acupressure points, we're also going to be talking out loud. We're going to be describing an issue that we're dealing with, a piece of stress in our life, maybe an addiction, something that we're afraid of, anything that's on our mind, essentially. We are going to be tapping and venting a little bit about it. And as we tap and talk, something interesting starts to happen where our mind and our body both start to work together to release everything that we've been holding on to. Every day, we all are facing so much stress, right? You know, it might be a big piece of stress, a little piece of stress, but as the day goes on, we usually don't have time to process a lot of that stuff. And so tapping is a great way to quickly take a couple of minutes and give yourself time to release anything that you're holding on to, anything that might be stuck, and just let it go so that you can move on with your day, your night, your life feeling a little bit less heavy.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because when I think of it too, now we find like modern medicine, modern psychology, actually, we know exactly the messages that the brain is sending to different parts of the body. We know that, and you know that when you're stressed, anytime you're in any kind of like fight or flight slash freeze mode, your brain is going to send messages to different parts of your body. Your palms get sweaty, right? Your heart might beat faster. You know that if you're nervous, you've ever had that pit in your stomach, or if you're really angry, you have a physiological response to whatever is happening. And so tapping on those acupressure points actually allows you to kind of reset those things and release some of the things that you're just dealing with that doesn't really help. And on that note, I wanted to add, Hannah, to what you were saying, that when you are tapping, there's a couple of things that you're doing. You're tapping and talking, but you always start with the karate chop point, and you're saying even though statements. And that sounds something like, even though I'm really mad at so-and-so, I don't know, whoever it is in your life, or I feel betrayed, or I feel hurt, or I have this addiction, or I'm struggling with blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I love and accept myself. You're saying even though, and then you're saying an acceptance statement. And essentially in a coaching session or in a therapy session, that is the entire point of our session sometimes. You want to get the person to accept themselves, and it makes it easier to figure out what to do from there. But if you're trying to deal with the emotional piece, right? You're trying to deal with a problem and you're not on board emotionally, it's a disaster. So you're really trying to integrate those things help people integrate that for themselves. And it's just interesting how that's like, you just cut straight to the heart of the matter. You start there and then you vent, and you tap on the other parts of your body, and some of that are like, just what's going on, how are you feeling, all of this stuff, like you were saying, describing the stress. But yeah, I just find that really helpful for people, like you're physiologically resetting while you're saying all of this stuff too.
Yeah, and sometimes that first even though statement, even though I'm feeling really stressed, I love and accept myself. It's not the easiest thing to say
Oh
for
my
everybody.
God. Yeah.
It takes a little while to work our way there. So sometimes I'll switch it to I accept myself and how I feel.
Mm,
But I really think it's important to have that element of acceptance and self acceptance,
mhm.
even if we don't mean it yet. That's okay. We'll work our way there. We'll get there. We're just going to fake it till we make it. But
Yeah,
I love that that is the very first thing that you say. It's like, even though I have this problem, I still accept myself. I still
right.
like myself.
Right.
You
And
know?
it's such a cringe thing for people. Like you see people like, this is so corny. What are we doing? Or you see people just react in some way to
Yeah.
this thing. It's just very interesting to see. And even in myself, the very first time I did this, I was like, okay, I love myself. And it's just like uncomfortable at the end of the day, but it's pretty powerful. Like you see, like the level of reaction is also telling you something about like how that's like, okay, this is, yeah, I love myself. Or some people are like, I don't even believe that. You have different reactions to it. But yeah, it's cut straight to it, like just an acceptance of the situation and acceptance of yourself. I really think it's important to believe what you're saying. And if you can't get to the point where you believe that statement, I love myself, then I'll change it. I accept how I feel. That's easy to believe. But I will say things like, I accept my reality. This is what it is, right? So I'll change things like that. Do you have anything else to add to the psychology piece?
I think we covered it.
Okay.
So in the next video, we are going to show you guys how to tap, and we're going to go through a quick tapping meditation. So we'll meditate together a bit.
All right. See you next time.